Hi friends, so here you see my husband taking the tractor with the forklifts and moving our chicken coop. My husband just made this chicken coop at the beginning of spring this year, and we wanted to make it mobile so we could move it around anywhere we wanted. So pretty nifty little coop. I'm super proud of it, but that is one thing that we use our tractor for, along with tilling our garden every spring, and that's what this video is about. I just wanted to bring you a video showing you why we have a tractor and what we use it for, in case maybe you're wondering if you should get a tractor or not. So hopefully this will be helpful to you. Here you just see that every spring we till up our garden with our tractor attachment, the tiller, but obviously having a tractor just to till your garden would not be worth it. You could just have a regular tiller, but since we have one, that's what we use it for. And along with little miscellaneous things like moving heavy bricks around, heavy rocks. Our tractors become really useful for that when it comes to projects like this one, when we put our watering tote in. I do have a video about that. But we have a very, very long driveway that needs a lot of maintenance. It's about 1,000-foot driveway, a little bit more maybe. But we use it for a lot of different projects. You can see here on our trailer build, our camper to trailer build. That's another video. We used our tractor for that. It's really easy just to hook things up and tow stuff around the yard if we need to. But that turned out really well. I had a lot of fun with that project. And obviously more moving things around again, but of course you could just use a wheelbarrow. I mean, that would be a lot easier and less expensive. But here my husband's getting ready to bring some wood in. So every year we have to accumulate a lot of wood because that is the only way that we heat our house every winter, and it gets very cold here in New Hampshire, so we have to have a lot of wood. So that's what he's doing right now, and we have a lot of timber on our property, so we just harvest our own. My husband cuts everything down, and the family just kind of jumps in, and we get all this wood done for the season before winter comes. But what we're doing here is he cut down some trees along our driveway, along the hill of our driveway, and we are accumulating a lot of logs so that we can cut them up smaller, split them, and stack them. Now, this tractor is smaller for this kind of work, but we use what we have, we get what we're able to get, and we work our equipment. So that's what we're doing here. Everything we have, we work pretty hard, and we know that, but we also take the best care that we can, when it comes to oil and greasing and all those things. But we accumulated so much wood over the summer, and super happy with what we have to work with this winter when it comes to burning wood. Some of these logs are huge, and it took a lot of work to get them even on the tractor forks, but this has made our life so much easier. In the past, we've had to cut the logs in the woods into smaller pieces and then carry them to an open area where we could actually get a vehicle to put them in. So this was really nice, just being able to get the logs right out of the woods. Obviously the location of the logs was a lot easier because they were just on the side of the driveway instead of being deep into the woods. You can see the saw fell there. But this was great. So we had a lot of logs. Look at that pile. So many logs. I'm so grateful. It's nice when your property can give back to you. All the investment that you put into your home and homestead, it's nice when it gives back to you a bit. We can heat our home for free, so that's always nice. So there's our big stack of logs, and we will end up chopping those up and then splitting them. But here you can see we have had the box blade there, and now we have the blade here that we're using just to shape our driveway, trying to keep it higher at the top and make it so that when it rains we don't get a whole lot of runoff. So that's another thing we use our tractor for. But you can see the Kubota here. It's the first tractor that we bought used, but it wouldn't run in the winter months. That's why we ended up getting a different tractor. But, moving little things around makes life a little bit easier. Obviously, this could have been done by hand, but since we have it, we used the tractor for this, just moving the chicken tractor to a different area of our homestead, which was really helpful, trying to get our chickens out and get plenty of bugs in a different part of our yard. And you can see me moving it there, but the Kubota was a great tractor. It just would not run in the winter, so whenever we needed it, we couldn't use it. But look how beautiful it is in the fall here in New Hampshire. Fall's my favorite season. I love it so much. But here, our neighbor had a four-wheeler that just didn't work anymore, and she told us that we could take it if we wanted it, so we went ahead and grabbed it, and we plow her driveway all winter, so we try to help out our neighbors as much as we can. But we were able to bring this four-wheeler home and work on it a little bit, so you can kind of see us using our tractor for that, just bringing it home while it's in neutral. So that was a lot of fun. That was a fun project that we had. And right here to the left is the entrance of my driveway, and right here is the bottom of my driveway, and you can see we're all the way up, so kind of get an idea of how long our driveway is. But it's absolutely beautiful and secluded, and I'm so grateful for it. And then right towards the end, when we get towards the house, there's that last steep hill that we have to go through. And then in the winter, we were using our tractor for the snowblower here, the front mount snowblower, and that worked out very nice. We didn't have a plow on our truck at the time, but we were having some problems with the pins breaking, so it really, every 5 minutes it seemed like one of those pins would break. So our driveway, it's bumpy, it's rocky, and it's very long. I mean, this would be a great option for a shorter driveway, I think, but it just didn't really work out for us, so we ended up putting a plow on our truck, which works out a lot better. But this is another thing that we did use our tractor for, and now we have kind of as a backup if we need it. But this was a big snowstorm. We got a lot of snow here. I think we got 36, 37 inches of snow. It was something around there. I don't remember exact, but it was quite a bit of snow. And we had a lot of cleanup to do. And we were home for a few days. I think this was last winter. But having a tractor has a lot of benefits, but you don't necessarily have to have one. It just really depends on your situation and what you have going on. Like I said, a tiller, a tractor attachment, that's really beneficial. If you have one, great. It came with our Kubota tractor when we bought it, so we had it on hand, luckily. But if you don't have a tractor and you don't necessarily have to have one, it's a lot cheaper just to buy a regular walk-behind tiller. But, there's different alternatives to having a tractor. It just depends on, like I said, your situation. But we use ours to drag out and smooth out our driveway. We use the bucket a lot, which a lot of things we use the bucket for, you could just use a wheelbarrow. But we really, the main reasons why we have one and we invested in a tractor is because we have over 1,000 feet of driveway to maintain in the summer and in the winter. Mostly actually in the spring, when all the rain and all the snow melts and there's lots of rain in the spring. It does a lot of damage, and we kind of have to clean up our driveway in the spring. And also due to all the plowing that we did as well, that does a lot of damage to the driveway as well sometimes. So just a lot of driveway maintenance. But And then also moving the logs. We use our tractor for stuff that we can't physically do. So keep that in mind. You know, if there's just things on your homestead that you just can't physically do, then maybe it's time to consider having a tractor. But think of the alternatives. You know, part of being a homesteader is being self-sufficient, and what's included in being self-sufficient, in my opinion, is being efficient with money and not relying on others. So if you don't have to spend the money, don't. And, you know, think about, you don't want to have to rely on others in a sense that you don't want to have to pay interest and rely on a bank for a loan. It kind of defeats the purpose of being a homesteader and being self-sufficient and being in debt, you know. So, part of being a homesteader is trying to get out of debt, not rely on the grocery store, not rely on banks. So that's a big part of it. So something to think about there. But ultimately, if you're just getting it to till your garden, don't bother. There's no need for it. There's alternatives to having a tractor. But with that said, I'm grateful we have ours, and I hope this helps you if you're deciding whether or not you would like to get a tractor. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.